Hey, it's John Gafford. It's August the 19th and time for another real quick 3-minute office meeting for Simply Vegas. The first thing I'm going to ask is something you absolutely cannot do. I hate to start with a negative, but I have to. Is property management if you're not a property manager. Now, where does this line blur? I know that some people here have a misunderstanding based on the fact that they like to do courtesy listings for their buyers when they put properties for leases. Now, you can put a property in the MLS for lease courtesy-wise, but where your job has to stop is taking applications and filling out leases on behalf of your buyers. The reason being is because now if you start doing that, you are managing the property. You're helping them fill out leases. You cannot do that. It dumps a heap of liability on Simply Vegas. It will potentially get us E&O cases, which would raise everyone's fees. So if we catch you doing this, we're going to have to ask you not to be with the company anymore. So it's not worth it. Don't do it. We have property managers on both sides you can refer this business to. Just don't do it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, let's start getting positive, is I felt a little bit of autumn out there today. It was nice. It was breezy. It felt good, which is awesome because it's going to eliminate that one excuse I hear all the time for why people can't dress professionally. Oh, it's so hot. That's why I have to wear flip-flops and cargo shorts. Well, that's kind of going out the window because you have to remember something. The only reason I mention this is 68% of all information that you relay is visual. And as realtors, we spend so much time selling ourselves and trying to get people to make the largest single investment they ever make or sell their most expensive asset with us. They have to trust us emphatically. So if they see you and you're dressed like you're just coming from the gym, it's not sending the right message. People used to ask me all the time, when I first started wearing suits every single day, they would say, oh, what do you have, an appointment today? And I would always say the same thing. I don't have an appointment yet, but I might. The point being is, try to dress for what you want to have happen and not necessarily for what's on the books. And I think you'll probably see something amazing happen. So remember, you are your brand and how you represent yourself. You never know when you're going to run into your next potential client. So remember that. The last thing I want to talk about this week is the GLVAR elections. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole rigmarole of vote for this person or vote for that person. I'm really just going to talk about one person because honestly, from what I found out about the inner workings of how the GLVAR works, really there's only one thing that's important to me as an agent and hopefully to you as Simply Vegas. And that is you need to understand most of the decisions that are made down there are not made by the board of directors. They're made internally by the executive board, which meets prior to those board meetings, and the die has pretty much been cast, from what I understand, on all major decisions. Now this weekend as I'm sitting at home, I see 2 GLVAR commercials for why you should use a realtor and go to this website to learn more. And then I go to the website and it's a complete joke. The website looked like it was designed by a 3rd grader and it was dreadful. So the point being is the decision to move forward with that advertising campaign, regardless of the status of that website, apparently they were told the website would be ready before the advertising campaign happened. And obviously they never dealt with tech before because you never go to advertising before tech is done because it always runs over. But the point being is we need to get a voice on that executive board that will dissent, that will not go along with the same line of thinking that's happened there for the last 3 to 5 years. So the person that I'm asking to help good on that is going to be Tom Blanchard. Tom's a friend of both Gavin and mine. Tom is a guy that goes against the grain. Tom is a guy that will stop and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this just because it's what we've always done. So it's important to vote for Tom Blanchard for treasurer at the GLVAR. I really don't care who else you vote for because I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. It's basically, at this point, in my opinion, nothing but a popularity contest. So vote for whoever you want for everything else, but it's very important for, I think, our company and the future of our board, and more importantly, what happens to the money we pay every quarter to the GLVAR. Vote for Tom Blanchard. Let's get a dissenting voice in the executive committee. Well, that's all I got for this week. So hopefully you guys will sharpen it up. Summertime's over, so we're going into the fall, which is the dog days here. So hopefully you'll still make your contacts. You'll still send out your marketing. You'll work harder than ever to make sure that we have the best fall ever. And let's go sell some real estate.